To achieve an AI powerful enough to manage subordinates, the game engine must model an effective command process. We opted to use as the basis for this Colonel John Boyd's famous OODA loop: observe, orient, decide and act. So the AI knows how to observe the environment and the elements that comprise it: space, terrain, weather, friendly and enemy units. In other words, it is situationally aware. It knows how to orient or to put things in perspective, especially in relation to its objectives and the constraints of time and space. It knows how to assess the situation, develop options, choose the best one, and from that develop a plan and issue orders to its subordinates. Moreover, we have further developed the framework by differentiating between major and minor decisions. In real life, a divisional commander will develop a full operational plan and issue orders maybe once every couple of days. However, in between these major decisions, the commander will monitor and react to developments, making minor adjustments along the way. So we've enabled the AI to assess, plan, order and react. Reactions vary from simple actions like halting, firing, calling in fire support, retreating and bunkering down, to more complex ones such as bypassing enemy or launching quick attacks. In this example, we're going to explore the command processing by subordinate AI control forces and how they react to the enemy. We're going to focus on Task Force Davidson here. This is a recon battalion and it's part of the US 1st Infantry Division, and the rest of its forces are deployed along this line here, and the enemy have already launched an assault and have penetrated the line, overrunning the position here. We're going to order Task Force Davidson to move to Hunningen. Its options for doing so are a little limited by virtue of the terrain. There's a major river here which prevents movement by motorised forces, and similarly the woods along here also prevents movement to motorised. So its avenue of approach to Hunningen is down through the river valley here, but you note that the enemy forces are here as well. If we go to the tools path, we select the Task Force Davidson headquarters and we choose a quickest unit path route, we can see that it chooses to move along the main road up to Buchtenbach, down through to Bullingen and on to Hunningen. Now this would take it right through the centre of the German assault, which is not a good option. So let's see what Davidson does when we give it an order. We're going to order it to move to Hunningen. We're going to tell it to use a safest route. This will try and use whatever cover's available and avoid the enemy. I'm going to make sure it doesn't rest because it's still at night time. Dawn's not for another 2 hours. It's only 6 o'clock and dawn is at sunrise is at 0800. We're also going to allow it to initiate attacks or to bypass depending on the circumstances. What happens now is that Task Force Davidson will receive its orders, then it will develop its plan, and in doing so it will determine the best route it can to Hunningen. It will then determine the best formation that it should use for its move, and it will then allocate its subordinates to a particular role within that formation, and then it will send orders to them. So let's look what happens. Right, we can see here that the route it's chosen, rather than the quickest route that we had before along the main road, it's chosen to use this minor road here and then to hug the wood line and then divert south around the enemy concentration and then come back up into Bullingen and onto Hunningen. So, not a bad route. Let's have a look at its planned task, and we can see here that it's chosen to use road column formation. This will see its units moving in a column with one unit at the front and the rest following behind. When we assigned Davidson the task, these were the units under its command. Now, when he's developed his plan, however, he will have reorganised and reassigned the units under his command into different groupings. We can see that by setting the player structure to show the current structure, and here for instance you can see that the first recon platoon is now subordinate to D Company 745th Tank Battalion. If we have a look here, the subunits haven't received their orders yet, so we'll let the game run for a little bit and the unit will shake out, and then we'll have a look at the formation in more detail. Alright, force is now moving along. We can see that D Company here, if we have a look, we can see that it's the advance guard for the task force. This means it's out in front. And its subordinate unit, the first platoon, is advance guard for it. So it becomes in effect the vanguard, or the very forward unit of the whole battalion. We have the tank destroyer unit is the main guard. Now these are a good unit to have as a main guard. These comprise the M36 tank destroyer vehicle, which is a open top tank mounting a very powerful 90mm anti-tank gun. The recon platoon has armoured cars, and these are ideal for reconnaissance work. They provide enhanced detection of enemy forces, and similarly the D Company here is light tanks, Stuart light tanks, and these provide good effective firepower against enemy infantry or light vehicles or light armour that it may encounter. So that is a good composition for the advance guard, another good choice for the main guard, and you'll see at the back here we will have the engineers of the rear guard. So all in all, a good choice for its formation and for its allocation. We'll let the game run now, and we will come back when the force gets closer to the enemy.